Hi, this is Sean. Welcome to Module 8, the final module in our Learning Analytics course here at the University of Missouri-Columbia for the spring of 2014. In this module, we're going to cover three main areas, two with where we will spend most of our time, and then one that's really about reflecting on the development of a Learning Analytics course in the long run. So the first focus for this module is going to be on design and design of visualization. And so we're going to go back to the designs that you created in Module 4 and look at those visualizations and use them as a starting point for thinking about how would you take what you knew in the middle of the course and then what you've learned since then about computational linguistics, sentiment analysis, and network analysis, and add those components and that thinking to the visualization designs from Module 4. I've put you in two teams of 4 people for this module, so all of the teams, or both teams, can use all 4 or 5, I think it's 4, of the designs from Module 4 as a starting point, or you have the choice of going off and doing something completely different in a different learning analytic domain. So you're not constrained by those designs, but sometimes it's easier to start and complete something that you had begun earlier. So make that decision as a team. I've set up the module to account for the fact that you'll need a little bit of time to organize as a team, and I've done a lot of study of online learning groups, and I can tell you that the groups that are most successful and satisfied at the end do make the time to synchronously get together on a Google Hangout or a Skype call before starting in on the module. So as I said in the module introduction, I strongly encourage you to do that. The second part of the module is focusing you on thinking critically about what learning analytics is and what it could be. And here, what I'm really asking you to do with the articles that I've provided is to think critically about how learning analytics could be at once helpful for teachers and students to understand learning progress in an online course or other learning context, but how also learning analytics could be applied from a policy perspective to be used in the ways similar to how testing is used in schools today, so that instead of serving learning, it becomes yet another task that teachers need to perform and could possibly, in some cases, undermine learning. And so the articles I've given you to read are not focused specifically on a learning context, because I think that literature doesn't quite cover the dimensions of what we call socio-technical questions. And so the articles that I've given you are actually 2 classic articles on the influence of technology on society. The first article by Langdon Winner, Do Artifacts Have Politics?, is a classic article about how science and the artifacts of science and engineering are used to establish and constrain order in a social setting. And so learning analytics, like these artifacts of bridges and nuclear reactors that Winner talks about, could in some sense be used to harden or solidify certain specific types of policies. The other article I provide is, one of the main articles, is by Phil Agre. Phil Agre was a scholar and thinker that came out of the artificial intelligence community at MIT back in the day, and his thinking in this paper is about how people organize and create society or civil discourse in a society through technology is not often discussed as being made up of basic social skills. So the social skills that one must have to do politics. So one thinks about social order and political civil discourse as something that happens through political science or government structures, and what Agre points out is that technology creates a moment in society where we can think about how social skills are actually a critical component in how policy is developed. And these 2 articles really take an important critical view of the socio-technical effects that something like learning analytics can have on society. So I don't want to send you into the world with a scattered understanding of all of the different ways that learning analytics are being constituted by researchers and developers right now. If you remember from the beginning of the course, we're learning about a topic that is not well developed or well formed yet. And so we're learning about something that doesn't really exist in the world in a clear and specific way yet, but over the course of the next 5 to 10 years it will. And these policy questions and how the technology is used to shape schools and to shape learning in our society, I think are very important for people in your positions to consider as you go out into the world and try to explain or understand what learning analytics will become in your practice. It is a discipline that is in the area of becoming. It is not established. And so as a discipline that's becoming, the courses that are developed, bringing us to the third point around learning analytics, require a lot of iteration and feedback from students. And so one of the things we're going to do is meet together in the design teams and look at your designs at the end of this module, and then also have a brief discussion about what kinds of changes to the design of this course would be helpful for making it more useful and engaging for you. And I think one of the ideas I have, which I mentioned, is to make a couple of opportunities for either face-to-face or synchronous technology-mediated interaction where we can discuss more synchronously what learning analytics is. And I think so that's one idea that I had that I may have pulled from one of your surveys for how to alter this course in future iterations. In any case, it's been a delight having you as a class this semester. I look forward to finishing up this module, and I will see you online.